Good afternoon, Flosstube friends. It is Friday, July 16th, and I am finally making a video with my good friend Lucy, who just got her summer haircut. If you can see, she still has her cute little long-haired ears, but her body is practically shaved. And I wish I could show you the foxtail they left her. It's the cutest thing ever. But she wants me to play ball, so I just picked her up to say hello and thought we would get into the cross stitch and then I'll play ball with her when we finish. She feels much better being cooler. As hot as it has been, she had a lot of hair, so it was good to get that off for the rest of the summer, and she will be not having to be groomed again probably till late fall, just for all the other maintenance like nails and glands and ears and all that. But we take her to a grooming school here in the area that we used to use for our little West Highland Terrier, and they are super kind and do such a beautiful job. So just wanted you to see Lucy for today. I hope you're doing well. This is Flosstube number 69. My name is Sharon, and this channel is Magnolia Nana, mostly about cross stitch, sometimes a little crochet. And you know, I had a book review today and forgot to bring the picture. I will have to tell you what it was without showing a picture at the end, if I can remember. You're going to hear the first part of this video, and you're going to look at your device and say, who did I just hear say that she had two finishes and one of them was an old WIP? You're not going to believe it is me. It is I, but it is. I'm off today because we do our 4-day week for 10-hour days for another week, I believe, another 2 weeks. So I've been doing some cleaning. I've got on my very oldest t-shirt that is super comfortable, but I didn't think you'd mind as long as all you saw was the top part here. Just a lot of things going on before we get back on campus. I think starting toward midweek next week, we will be on campus all day, one day, and then the following week all day, every day. So we are about to be back in what was our pre-COVID job setting. But I decided this morning that there was a cabinet in my bathroom that had not been cleaned out in so many years, I don't even remember. And I had a stash of all of my girls' toiletries, nail polishes, makeup that people didn't want to take with them. And, you know, sometimes you can use other people's hand-me-downs, and I love hand-me-downs, but this had to be cleaned out. So I spent most of the morning pulling everything out, vacuuming out the cabinet, putting down fresh, not shelf paper, but shelf plastic, I guess, and reconfiguring everything. But I am thrilled to report that a lot of things were able to be trashed or recycled. So, yay! We have to talk about the finishes first. First, I want to give credit to 3 Flosstube channels who apparently originally thought of this idea, which has helped me move through some WIPS, and it is the 100 stitches per day, either before or after you work on your other projects. But the 3 Flosstubers I want to thank, because I love this idea, are Small Town Stitches, Stitching Mommy, and Thread the Needle. I'm not sure if Stitching Mommy originated the idea or Small Town Stitches, but I know that I heard about it on Thread the Needle, and I am thrilled to report that my 100 stitches per day had started with Quaker Peace by My Big Toe, which was a stitch along with my daughter. We had started this pretty early in the COVID year, and we had determined we were going to stitch from stash. So I actually used an even weave that was in my stash, and she used whatever she had. She's still working on hers. But guys, I didn't just do 100 stitches per night. I stitched and stitched and stitched, and it is complete. Let me try to get this up close. I could not be more thrilled with the final result. If you remember, it was 1/1 on 28 count even weave. I won't be doing that again anytime soon. My eyes were far from happy, but I love the final result. If you remember, I used 2 Madeira blues that I had acquired in another kit that I had finished from the needlework store that we found in Scotland. So I used up the dark blue of that Madeira, but I still have some of the lighter blue. But as you can see, a very precious life verse, which I definitely want to get framed. And then the lovely Quaker designs, excuse me. So just over the moon excited to have this done. And will be taking it with me to Hobby Lobby to see if I can find a frame. I really feel that we could frame this ourselves, and it's very small. I wish there were some way you will know how small the stitches are because you have stitched on 28 count. I'm so sorry we're getting the sun right behind me. Maybe you can see there, those tiny little stitches. Some of you do these tiny stitches all the time, but my eyes are not as young as they used to be. So there is the first finish. And the second finish was actually a new start and a finish. I went down to the stitch niche with my daughter, who was hoping to find a project, but who bought projects, not her, me. Not good. So this was one that I purchased, and it was one of those pieces that was easy to finish because it is small, and also because the colors were just so delightful that it just flew. This is by Rosewood Manor, and it is called Summer. There are others of these, of course, which I have not purchased. This was actually in a sale bin at the Stitch Niche, and we looked and looked, hoping to find the other seasons. No go. But I can order them if I decide I want to do them. And with the graph came the floss. And y'all have never seen her use this type of floss. Excuse me, it's all falling apart. But it is called House of Embroidery. And then it says Rosewood Manor, 6 strand. Let me see. Hand dyed in South Africa. Can you see that variegation? Especially, you see it on the pink, maybe on the green. There's definitely variegation in that lavender. So I have a lot of this left, and it just stitched up very much like DMC, but beautifully. Well, it just turned out beautifully. I have no words today. So this is the completed piece. I actually did it on a piece of even weave that had been gifted to me, which is a pink. You might almost call that a mauve. Now, sadly, I'm not getting the color on the fabric that I would like. But if you will see, I changed the color of the word summer. I really did not want more brown in this picture. The basket was enough. But just such a delightful stitch. And I guess delightful is my word of the day. So you see the variegation in the pink flower, in the green leaves, a little bit in the lavender flowers. But isn't that the most fun? How I'm going to finish this, I'm not sure. My husband wanted all 4 done and framed, hung together, but I don't have the other 3 yet, so I don't know what we'll do. I guess we could frame this one and buy 3 more frames that are the same. That would be an option. But you know I love Rosewood Manor because I had stitched Summer Quakers back a year or so ago. And so when I saw this, I just said, it's got to come home and be stitched this summer. So yay, 2 finishes chalked up. I could not be more thrilled. So with that in mind, I am going to continue choosing a 100 stitches a day project from my WIPS and push on forward the way I did with Quaker Peace. But right now I have 2 projects competing for that position. So I'm going to show you both, but I think the first one I'm going to show you will be the one that I push toward a finish first because it is super, super easy to stitch. This is one of the kits that my husband ordered from Scotland, from Cobweb Designs. And this was the one that is Beatrix Potter sampler. And if you remember last summer, I took this with me to North Carolina when I was helping with new baby twin girls. And I put in Mr. McGregor's border of his gardens incorrectly. So I pulled this back out and I have ripped out the incorrect garden and started putting it back in. But I also discovered that I had stitched the garden bench in the wrong color, so I'm going to have to put that back. It needs to be corrected because the way I've stitched it, you can't see it. But this is on the 14 count Ada, so it could not be easier to stitch on, and as I've said before, it's a perfect stitch for when your eyes are tired or you're in a place where your lighting is not as good. So this is Beatrix Potter by Cobweb Designs, and you're going to hopefully be able to see where I've put the garden back in correctly. So that will be started right there. And this here will be a green section that needs to go all the way across here. This is the garden bench that I put in the wrong color, so I'm definitely going to correct that because obviously it blends into those windows. But I can do this one at least 100 stitches a night and get it done because I've done the border. Now I just need to fill in the light leaves on the border. And then there may be a little more dark green, not much. And then I'll need to do the whole garden with the animals across the bottom. But as you know, stitching on the big Ada is so fast. This is one I would stitch in hand for that reason, sewing method. Just loving the simplicity of it. And the more I think about these Ada projects, the more I think I want to find a spot in my kitchen. They're just cheerful and the colors would go really well in my kitchen, and a kitchen garden, what else? But I do have Monet's garden in these kits, so that might be a cute pairing. Anyway, that was the first contender for the 100 stitches per night. And then the other contender is Mary, Queen of Scots. We all are ready for Mary to be finished, and so she will also be getting some love. Papillon Creations, Mary, Queen of Scots. It is a monochromatic design, which I am doing in the red. And as is my habit, I did not bring the DMC color here with me to tell you what the number was. If anyone needs to know that, please message me. I have it on other videos, but I'll be glad to let you know that. So my goal with the one, with what I've done so far is to finish the alphabet. And those letters take a while. And then finish motifs down here and then work on the border. It was the border that was giving me so much grief. You wouldn't think that simple border would be a problem, but I was having trouble getting it to meet up. So let me show you. I have this in my seated hoop, and I think I will leave it there. Forgive me. But I'm ready to do J right here. Boy, you really can't see that color. It's much lighter than it's appearing. But I will work to finish the alphabet. I'm not sure how many letters I have left. Let me just see if you can see anything here. So you see a lot of this has been done. The bottom of the border is needing filling in, but the corner in the middle, those are all done. People, I'm going to take it out of here. There's no way you can see this. Forgive me for the arm in your face. Let me just try to hold this up properly. I would not be happy if I couldn't see. Hang on. All right, here we go. So, here is the top. You see how much of the alphabet has been done. The top row and the bottom row are complete of the alphabet. You see my graphing, what do you call that? Gridding, to try to get that border in the right place. And I had ripped the border back to where it was okay. And then I'll hold up this bottom half. This is a huge piece. Okay, there we go. Can you see? So not a lot left on the bottom. Finishing those bands and a few small motifs, but of course, filling in the border will take a while. So 100 stitches, that's my commitment. I always comment on this beautiful linen because of the color, and it is just so much fun to work on. It was one I spent a lot on at the Stitch Niche. And I think this piece will be glorious. That unicorn, I just can't get enough of him. But the castle, the palace, Mary herself with her falcon, the thistle, so many beautiful motifs. So we're gonna get a finish on Mary. We really are. Then I also would love a finish on my beautiful Music Amongst the Trees, which is also a Rosewood Manor. This was a gift from a dear friend. And I made a little bit of progress on this one. I am stitching this on 32 count white linen with the called for DMC. And so what I would hope to do here, let me show you, is to finish the tree that you're going to see in process. There is a tree you had seen in process that is now complete. Okay, so where are we? This one is complete. The last time you saw it, I was working on it. So now we have a big one that needs to go right here, and you can see I had started that one. Then that will leave me, is it one or two more trees? Here's my pattern. Oh, it's just another big tree on the other side. Wait a minute. Yes, this one has not been started. This is the one I just started. And then of course, as you've seen before, there are a lot of little tiny trees. Then I'll have a few more of the critters up at the top. So this pink tree is the one that I have just started. Each tree is so unique. And if we had a little better lighting, you could see the colors are just so cheerful. So we're not close, but we're closer. And I would really love this one framed. Not sure now where we might put it, but it will be in a place of honor. It's just delightful. Do we have to use that word one more time? Goodness, isn't it funny how our brains get stuck on things? I had mentioned in my last video that I was going to do some Christmas or Thanksgiving in July. Well, as you can see, that has not happened, but I don't mind that because I got those finishes and I needed that. But I did pull this one out, and I do hope I can get to it this summer. It is super close to a finish. Count your blessings, give thanks. This is by Imaginating, and it's called Autumn Blessings. What I would love to do is get this one finished, and maybe we could frame it ourselves before the holiday. which will be here before we know it. So here is Count Your Blessings. And what you can tell is that it's the bottom part that needs the most work. This part here is finished, I believe. Maybe not. I'll have to look at it again, not quite. But there's more to be done up here. And then this whole bottom section. It's the narrow piece. This is the one I would love to see done as a bell pull if I could find the hardware, which I think I've seen online somewhere. But these are the perfect fall colors. This was on 32 count linen from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. It's not a fine linen, but so adequate for especially a seasonal piece. So imaginating autumn blessings. That glare is getting worse. Ooh. Now, was that all the WIPS? Yes. There is some haul. I wasn't supposed to have haul. And a few comments that I'd like to make. Won't be much longer. So I was watching a new Flosstuber to me, whose name of her channel is The Nerdy Needle. She is a teacher. I want to say in Oregon. And as I have been struggling with my eyes for the last 4-6 months, I have found out it is cataracts, and that is going to be a surgery I need to schedule ASAP. But in the meantime, she showed these amazing glasses that are magnifiers that also have a light in them, which is battery powered, but you can charge the battery, I believe. You can charge them with a mini or micro USB. So I ordered them right away from Amazon. This is the box. And as you can see, you have the glasses, but you also have many lenses for different strengths of magnification. So I'm going to show you those. But if you want to see more about this, go to the Nerdy Needle. She will give you a wonderful review of the whole thing. So these are the lenses, the extra lenses in this nice little case. And then you also have a neck strap, which I am about to put on because the thing that holds it behind your ears is not comfortable if you've worn them for very long. But let me show you these funny glasses. Would you look at this? I've heard of mag eyes before. I don't know if these are mag eyes. They're not called that. So here are your magnifying lenses. And then you push this button and there's your light. And it's 2 levels of light. So let's just all get a laugh. Here we are. And if you're looking down, these are adjustable. Isn't that funny? Turn your light on. And I'm telling you people, even those tiny stitches you can see beautifully. And I don't even have the strongest magnifiers in there. So I'm thrilled. I'm just over the moon thrilled with this because I can't quit stitching just because my eyes are aging. So just thrilled. They're plastic, and I'm sure they would not hold up forever if you didn't treat them gently, but I'm being super careful. And it has made all the difference. I don't think I would have finished Quaker Peace without those, to tell you the truth. Okay, then the rest of the haul. I told you that I had ordered this one from the Cricut collection after watching Shanda stitching in Idaho, and it finally came. This is the one called Shadows. But would you look at that adorable young woman stitching? It's her silhouette with, if you can see that, the sampler behind her. I really want to get this started as soon as I get another finish. And then to the side is another piece, and this will have to be a companion, people. It says, "Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might." And I'm going to have to show you this. Let me cover up the pattern on the side. But this has more of the thistles, which we love. Let me try to cover this up. So here's the other little pattern. I didn't even know this was in here, but that has to be stitched. That was a verse that my grandmother taught me and lived by. And I'm grateful for that legacy from her. So you have that small one, and then you have shadows. And I think same frame, same mat, companion pieces would just be precious in a stitching room or a guest bedroom. This does call for DMC, so that will be easy. And so there, thrilled to have that. And thank you, Shanda. It's Shanda. I did go back and listen, for showing your beautifully finished piece and letting us know about something we had not seen because it's older. Then while I was in the Stitch Niche buying Summer by Rosewood Manor, I had to pick up the one that we first saw with Molly West, Sensible Stitcher. She actually had stitched this for her sister. And I fell in love with it then, but I didn't write down the name of it. Friends, it was in the clearance bin at Stitch Niche. This is called the Holiest, it's not the, Holiest of Nights by Homespun Elegance. It's my colors, it's the precious sheep, and that nativity. I don't know when this will take a start, but I am just really happy to have it in my stash. Holiest of Nights. And I believe, does it call for DMC? Okay, there are some weeks Dye Works called for, but she always gives an alternate DMC. She also gives an alternate anchor floss. That's interesting. And I believe hers is on, well, it doesn't say. Maybe it does and I don't see it. But I will decide on what size. Oh, can't wait for Christmas to do this. And I don't know if I'd do a pillow or frame that. Would be such a sweet pillow. So there is the haul. I guess I didn't do too badly. So let me tell you the book I just finished that I was supposed to have a picture of and did not bring, and the other books that I'm reading through, and we will be finished for today. Thank you for your patience. This is going to be a 30-minute video. I'm not usually that long-winded. I love Jacqueline Winspeare, her Maisie Dobbs detective series, and the one I have just completed is The Consequences of Fear, F-E-A-R. Heartrending, but a really lovely story, a very hard to solve mystery, so I didn't solve it at the beginning, but I fell right in with Maisie Dobbs, as I always do. So Consequences of Fear by Jacqueline Winspeare, awesome. Then back, I don't know how long ago during COVID, I decided to reread all the Karon Mitford books, a lot of which I have done on audiobook. So I have been working through those, and I am up to Somewhere Safe with Somebody Good. But guys, for this time we're living in, those have kept me focused on what's important. So if you are a Karon fan, a Mitford fan, pull those back out. Oh, how helpful. I'm just thrilled to be working through those. And I kind of got the order mixed up in the middle there, but I knew what was happening, so it was okay to get them out of order. But I'm going to finish that series definitely one at a time through the year. If you look it up online, of course, it will give you the order. If you've not read them before, get them in order or you'll be confused. And the final comment, one of my dear daughters sent me this with another sister as a happy. I used to subscribe to this magazine. She does now. I'm so glad she decided to get it. It's called Victoria, or Bliss at the top. And this particular one is the Charm of French style. But if you've not looked through these, they are full of eye candy and gorgeous photographs, but also heirlooms from our past. You just can't look at one of these and not come away encouraged. They also have amazing recipes, and of course the beautiful china, which we love. Also beautiful linens, and they will also feature entrepreneurs or creative women who are in business and making beautiful things. So highly recommend. A little bit of interior. So I've enjoyed that this summer as well. I used to enjoy magazines a lot more than I do now. I just don't have the time. But this was so welcome when it came. Thank you, Elizabeth. You all please take care out there. It is hot here in the United States, but not the worst summer we've had. We are working and getting things done, but stitching is what we're coming to keep us sane, and that's a blessing. Please comment if you have anything to suggest or anything you want to let me know. And as always, I hope to be back sooner rather than later. But you know that when I do come back, I'll hope to share how much progress I've done with my 100 stitches a day on those old WIPS. I'm going to keep pulling them out, people. It has motivated me to get another finish. Sending love and hugs. Have a wonderful end to your July. See you soon.